All right. Hi, guys.
Hey.
This is Amanda and Danielle. We just wanted to make this video for you. As we're growing, we're so excited to be moving into units of just excellence.
Yeah.
We're awesome units. So we're just growing into being Cadillac units.
That's right. Yeah.
So we just wanted to make sure that we address some things as we're moving and growing, and just making sure that we are having things in place, expectations and standards, because we're units of excellence, and we want to make sure that we are working out of that standard of excellence. So we want to bring you some awesome little things.
New criteria.
New
fun things that'll be happening at the meeting, like the consultant prize wheel, which you want to make sure you're having a 3+3+3 week. But really, for consultants that may be brand new, you're going to fall in between what we did and what we're doing differently. And really, it's came from us having private conversations with top directors at Fall Retreat, and also being in Carmen and Jay's space. They are from the Diamond Sales Development. So Amanda and I are going to go back and forth. We're going to tell you really what your role is, what you can expect of us, and what the outcome is, because it's really crucial to understand that part of Mary Kay success is what she shared in this book right here, and how our meeting and event environments set us apart as consultants that are independent beauty consultants that are building successful selling businesses. So here we go.
Okay. So number one, we just want to talk about what is a meeting, So maybe you're new, maybe you've been a seasoned consultant, so you already may know what a meeting is. But why is a meeting important, and what is a meeting? So a meeting is where we are meeting in each other's space. It's so important to be in the space of women that you want to trade places with, and it's just that place where we can connect face to face every week. But the meeting is for your benefit. It's not really for us. That's our job. Yeah. That's what we do. But we make sure that we are bringing that to you every week. Guys, there's directors that don't hold meetings.
Crazy.
And so, we want to make sure that you are taking advantage of them, and that you understand what they're there for. So it's there for your benefit. You really want to make sure that you are taking advantage of them, because it's going to drive a successful business. You can't really you're not going to be able to take pictures if you don't know how to work a camera, right? So the meeting is there that you are learning the ins and outs of the process of, we have this awesome skincare class script that you're going to get as a new consultant, and you're going to be reading that and be like, okay, this is cool, but how do I do this? Okay, so that's where the meeting comes in place, because each week we're doing guest events, and you are seeing that process. You're seeing that the whole thing, start to finish. You're seeing real life scenarios, okay? So I always share the example of watching the awesome DVDs that come in your starter kit. They're great, right? So you can watch those DVDs in that starter kit, but they're only going to get you so far. They're going to get you, okay, I know how to do this. But you're not working face-to-face with people, and you're not learning those interactions, the conversations that you're having. Each scenario is going to be different. It's the same thing as taking a class. You're reading a book, but the book knowledge only gets you so far when you're out in your career field. So the same thing with Mary Kay. That procedure, those DVDs are going to get you so far, but you really need to see that live scenario each week, because each week there's going to be different women there. You're going to hear different things being said. You're going to see the woman like this.
Yeah.
You're going to hear
the
girl
like this that clearly don't see the value, because the process has been dropped somewhere. So it's kind of like riding a bike. Well, seeing your friend ride a bike, or I love this analogy when I hear someone say that they don't know how to swim, and that's okay if you don't know how to swim, by the way. But it starts with the process and the teaching in the beginning, which is how you articulate it. And you can't understand what it's like to get the woman like this who won't give you referrals unless you see that it's normal, because it's happened to us. But,
so that's there so that you can see it's normal, so that when that happens to you, you're not feeling super discouraged. You can see it happens to directors that are driving free cars. It happens, and that just how to handle that. How would you talk to that person? How would you get her to interact? How would you handle that situation? And so that allows you to feel more confident, to feel more equipped to handle any sort of situations, to handle objections that people may say, like, oh, well, I used that cleanser and, like, I don't like it. It made my face, like, all red, you know? So, like, how would you handle that when you're in front of your sister consultants and you're in front of other guests? So you're learning from us because Danielle has 13 years of experience. I have 3. But we've done lots of parties. We've done lots of power starts. I wish I would have tracked how many faces I've seen, literally, from start to finish, because, yeah, it's probably been over 1,000 easily. So, anyways, just learning those in and outs, equipping yourself, knowing how to respond, building that confidence within yourself so that you can then do that process on your own and feel equipped to do it. So what else? The primary role of the meeting is just learning how to respond to people. And then the other thing that we really enjoy doing with the meetings is being recognized, okay? So it's really, what is Mary Kay all about? When you came into Mary Kay, why? Why did you first come into Mary Kay? What appealed to you? It was probably the environment, you know, it was probably the women, the positive atmosphere, things like that. So, you want to share about, like, just that excited energy?
Yeah, absolutely. So, ladies, I promise you, before Mary Kay, I was not very excitable. I smiled, I had fun with people, but I cannot tell you how much we heard crystal clear at seminar that we have to provide a solid environment full of energy. Just talking to you about energy, I'm getting energized. I have, like, goosebumps. So if you come to the meeting and let's just say you might have to be a little bit Debbie Downer, you got to raise that standard. It is so important, because here's what we want our guests saying to themselves when they leave that meeting. We want them saying, wow, I feel so much more of a energized friend, a better mom. I'm going to go home happier, greet my husband or whoever better, because I hung around women that raised my deserve level and my enthusiasm level up. The primary thing that we do at the meeting in the beginning that can be a deal breaker is recognition. Yep. Enthusiasm creates energy and motion, and we need it to be a fun place. So ladies, if you come there and you're not excited, we are telling you the same thing our directors told us. It is your responsibility to clap and celebrate as if it was you, because guess what? The next week when it is you, you're going to want someone to praise you like you praised her the week before. Another thing with the recognition is that the women get to see you celebrating other women. It doesn't happen in corporate America. It is our responsibility to show that. So many women at Fall Retreat this year said the reason they came into Mary Kay was for 2 reasons. The positive environment / enthusiasm, and the women they got to be around. So I want you to evaluate your fun, enthusiastic meter, and I want you to get excited. Another thing with recognition is we don't share what's not working, because if we wanted to do that, we could go work at a job where they complain about things. That's all my old employer did, is reprimanded me. Your job, when you are asked to introduce yourself, tell us what you do now or prior to Mary Kay, and one thing you're loving the most this week about your business, your job is to only speak positive and uplifting things. This is not about being fake, so I'm going to address that right now. This is about choosing your words wisely, because if we wanted to sit there and be negative, there is no outcome in that. We need to say, I am Danielle Lunsford. Before Mary Kay, I was a CNA, and what I love most about my business this week is the opportunity to give back into the community and be a part of Mary Kay's cancer foundations that affect women. And this week I got to love on someone. I might have had a $0 facial, but that's not what I said. So it's really important to choose your words wisely. I'm looking at my paper.
What you think about, you bring about. Guys, your words are so powerful, and that is why we want to make sure that when you're recognizing yourself and we're doing recognition, we're talking about those positive things that are happening. Because it's so easy to talk about what isn't happening, the girl that didn't hold, the cancellations you had, the $0 facial you had. It's easy to focus on not getting referrals. But we want to look at what is those positive things that happen. If you had a $0 facial, guys, the paycheck of the heart. Mary Kay is about enriching women's lives. So again, when we are having guests there, the products are great. They're going to make her feel great. but she's going to feel an internal difference walking out of that environment when we are bringing the energy, when we're being positive, when we are talking about the positive things that are happening, when we are praising each other. You know, you just don't get that anywhere else. And that is so what stuck out to me. I have had the privilege to never have to work in corporate America. But that is one thing that drew me to Mary Kay, was knowing that that we have that support system. Because in corporate America, if they were giving me a free car, I'd be competing with my girlfriend, and I'd be stabbing her in the back trying to get that free car. And in Mary Kay, they have like tons of free cars. Like, there's no limit on how many cars they give away. So, just an example, you know, but we want to make sure that that person and you know, not just your guests, but you are leaving there feeling excited to go into your next week, because you guys are coming typically from your jobs, from that uninspired, you know, and you probably got yelled at or whatever. And so that's just your environment to feel good about yourself. So, and to guard. It's really important to guard it. Totally. When I was a beauty consultant, remember, this is a safe place. I say that so much to new consultants. So honestly, you have to hold yourself accountable. It's a choice, and Amanda and I have a fun little thing that we're going to start doing, actually. If we feel like someone needs an AA, as Crystal Walker Hunsucker says, an attitude adjustment, because really, honestly, guys, it is the only safe place for some beauty consultants. And I just think if Mary Kay Ash was at our meeting, what would she think about our enthusiasm and our recognition? And that's where Amanda and I really reevaluated what some things needed to change. So we're excited about that. So next thing. Awesome. Consultant responsibilities. So, yay. So you want to talk about responsibilities. What are your responsibilities being at a meeting? Because we're awesome directors, you know, but to make us more powerful directors and be able to deposit into you, we want to make sure that you have an understanding of what your responsibility is. That way we can still be working out of power. And we can help you guys work out of power. And we want to make sure that we're looking professional. We want to look and be professional, okay? Because we can be professional, but we also want to appear professional, okay? See the professional woman. Yes. Who we don't know could be coming in a hoodie and jeans just because her beauty consultant told her she can come as is. Yeah. Right. So, number 1 is RSVPing, okay, guys? So, we've talked about this a lot, but so easy to RSVP. I'm going to show you how easy it is, okay? We all have smartphones, right? So, some of you might not have a smartphone. That's cool, but you use a computer. But I have, like, I'm organized, so I have, like, little folders. But my little folder is called Mary Kay, and in there, you'll see Eventbrite, okay? So, you can download the Eventbrite app. It's free. Just click that, and you can go in here. Now it says, like, personalized. I don't need to do that because I haven't set it up yet on my new phone. But anyways, so you just go in here, you hit search, and while I'm talking, you can, like, search for Danielle. So I'll do that. But the important thing with RSVPing is if you guys were scheduled for work, you would never not show up for the date and time that you were scheduled to work. Fired. Right? Or you would be yelled at. Or you'd be like, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, out. You know, we don't do that in Mary Kay. We're not going to tell you can't come to the meeting. But, again, that appearance of looking professional. And why, number 1, why is it important to RSVP? Because how would you feel? You know, if you have guests there, we gauge. So, number 1, we gauge as directors what products to have, what tools to have off of the RSVPs we have. So we need those RSVPs by 24 hours before the event. That way, Mondays, Sunday nights, whenever we decide, but that we can prepare. We can get those things in place so that we're professional. You know, we're looking professional. We're looking like leaders, and that you guys have what you need. But if you have 4 guests RSVP'd, and you have 4 guests confirmed, but you didn't RSVP them through Eventbrite, well, what happens when maybe she has bronze skin tone. Maybe she's a bronze skin tone, but you don't have bronze foundations. Well, had we had those RSVPs 24 hours, we would have been able to, as directors, we would have been able to equip you with those foundations that we could have brought them, etc. You know, so it's just, again, it's looking professional, and just doing your part. You know, you guys want to make sure that you're doing your part and doing what you're responsible for. Um,
And while Amanda's looking that up just to show you how easy that is, here's a tip, guys. We had a consultant one time that she literally came to the meeting 15 minutes early, even when she didn't have guests. And she would sit down and go in on Eventbrite and RSVP within 10 minutes for every single event that month. But the big thing I have to tell you is if you ever came to a meeting and you didn't get a copy of something or you were left out, it's not really our job to apologize because we base how many copies, tools, and products we bring for consultants and guests based on RSVPs. Ouchie. Oh, okay. So Amanda just only typed in what? Cornerstone?
No, I typed in your name.
Oh.
Typed in Danielle Lunsford. Okay? Danielle Lunsford. And look, there's our 2, Mummy and Me and Divas and Desserts was today.
Yeah.
Says ongoing.
That's right. Today's Saturday.
Ongoing. It's happening now.
Yeah. Going on now.
Going on now. So, really easy. Look, Mummy and Me, I already RSVP'd.
She did?
Yay. It doesn't say it on here because I'm not logged in. But I already RSVP'd 5 guests. So, yay. But really easy to do right on here, okay? So right on your phone. So don't use the excuse, well, I wasn't at a computer, guys.
You can be on Pinterest.
This is in your pocket, right?
You can be on Eventbrite.
Cool. So another thing is arriving on time.
Yes.
Making sure that we're getting there in a timely manner, okay? So consultants, just no later. If you have guests, you should really be there no later than 6:40.
If you don't have guests, no later than 6:45.
Yeah, so that way, because you're responsible for setting her place up, you guys, we expect you to come in with your Mary Kay face on, okay? You want to be professionally dressed. So dress or skirt, your beauty coat is great, and your starter kit. You should have your starter kit, okay? Non-negotiables. You know, we all have starter kits. Yep. So, you know, and you're responsible for setting up her place. So you want to make sure that your guests, when your guests are arriving, you're still not sitting there setting up her place or trying to figure out, like, what should I put where? Where should I do this? You know, and also you guys have to get signed in. You want to make sure you're getting your sheets. You probably have questions for us. So just, it helps. It helps everything run smoothly, everything start on time. So, you know, that way we're not starting facials at 7:45. You know, we want to be starting them no later, like 7:20, 7:30, no later than that. And our dues, we have that $20 monthly all access pass, or you can do $8 a week. And that covers every, you know, all the events that we have in the month, the $20 all access pass. But what is that really for? Is really providing that safe place. It's a safe place that you can come and facial someone. If you don't have that confidence yet to go into someone's home, you can bring her to that, and it's a safe place. It's at a church. It's well lit. There's bathrooms. There's a kitchenette. You know, it's just a great one. It's an awesome space, and it provides a safe place for you. And it's multifunctional, and that those dues are going towards prizes and rewards for your guest. You know, so they make it lip glosses, but full size product, not just samples. You know,
makes you look good.
Yeah. So just having those awesome perks and privileges. And then, was that it? Out of that?
I think for the consultant responsibility, just to share with you guys real quick, it probably frustrates us as much as it frustrates you when we have beauty consultants coming in, and here are hard on this. We know that some of you work late, and we have had that private conversation with you. But we are creating a new behavior, and we are expecting that, number one, no one will be RSVP'd after Eventbrite goes down. Like, that's the new rule. I mean, if you had to RSVP for a birthday party on the 21st, you wouldn't call today and say, can I still come? Because they had to give an attendance. Secondly is when consultants come in late, it's distracting. It just is to us. Personalities, we're like, shiny. And then we are not honoring the people who came on time. But also, listen, guys, 5 minutes late and unorganized turns into 15 minutes of totally craziness. And again, we're going to talk going forward about what is the expectation of the future leaders that are helping run this event. And if you don't have guests, but you see a sister consultant that's sort of frazzled, again, you know, go help her so we can start the show
Yeah.
right at 7 o'clock, and that really helps us provide that professional environment to that woman who you may not know is really watching everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
So that's really important.
Well, and Go Give, you're saying, like, we recognize for a unit Go Give every year.
We do.
So
that's something we keep our eyes open for.
So we're looking for that. We're looking for those consultants that are helping, those sister consultants and things like that. And if you guys haven't read this, please do, because it talks all about, if you're like, what is Go Give? I'm not going to talk about it. It's in here. So read it.
Yeah. And it talks about how Mary Kate Ash created the environment for the meeting and the competitive spirit, and how the inspiration is what really drives a woman to running after her heart's desire. So must read. It's in your starter kit.
Yay. Okay, so the very last thing we want to talk about is, what is the outcome? What do we expect from the meeting? What are our expectations? What's the outcome of the meeting? So really, it's for you to be educated and confident, to feel confident to do that process, to feel confident to respond to someone's objections, to feel confident into what products to refer to her, or if she's like, I had a girl last night that was like, I just don't know. Like, I don't take care of my skin. I don't wear makeup. Like, I literally don't know.
Yeah.
So, you have to have that confidence to say to her, like, this is what I would suggest for you to start with. Okay, but you're not going to get that without that hands-on experience. We also want you guys to feel more like you're learning those processes so that you can be a master of those skills. You're learning those skills that you can transfer them. The roles and responsibilities we have at the meeting and that are a part of the party are things that were put in place 52 years ago. 52 years ago. They are already set in stone. We don't need to reinvent the wheel and make up new ways to do a party.
Nope.
They're already set in place, which gives me confidence. It gave me confidence as a new consultant to know that's already in place. I just have to copy somebody, and do it. So anyways, as we're talking about roles, you guys will see us transitioning into, as you guys are moving up, into leadership roles, but really, it's not just that taking that leadership role, it's you coming to us and saying, Danielle, Amanda, I feel like I'm executing an appointment full circle. I feel like I am booking people, I am selling products, I am sharing the opportunity, I'm getting referrals. When you're doing all four of those things,
no fail,
every appointment, you're not missing it because you just don't feel like it or whatever. You're doing it, non-negotiable, full circle. That is when we will start putting you into roles. We'll start putting you into roles because we don't want you guys to just hear from Danielle and I. We want you guys to learn from each other, right?
But why? We gotta stop there.
Yeah.
Why did we do it for a little bit and take it back?
Yeah.
Honest moment,
guys. So for a while, we had you guys like doing everything, right? We wanted you guys to get in that.
Yeah.
However, we were noticing that the confidence wasn't there. It wasn't being executed necessarily in the correct manner because your confidence and belief wasn't there. And so, really... Real moment, right? So, really, we took those roles away and we put ourselves back in them because we want to make sure that they're being executed correctly. Because one, you're having other beauty consultants watch you. You're having new consultants, seasoned consultants watch you and learn from you. And if you are not doing the fabulous game necessarily, using the right words, and you're like, shuffling through it, you're transferring that onto a new beauty consultant. You're transferring that onto a guest that's not even a consultant yet, that may join a year from now, but she remembered that experience she had. Okay, so we want to make sure that as you guys are building that confidence, as you are mastering those skills, when we come to you and say, Susie, I think you're ready to be doing the fabulous game during the meeting, that is where it's your part to be real with us and say that I feel confident, I don't feel confident, okay? Because you're transferring those skills onto other people. They're watching you. It's a system that's replicatable, and that's why Mary Kay is so easy, because it's something you duplicate. But we want to make sure that you guys are, when we are coming to you and saying, we feel like you're ready for this position, that you are evaluating that. And if you don't feel comfortable, you're sharing that with your director. Just because that's affecting your consultant's guest, your sister consultant's guest. It's affecting her success in her business. So, we don't want to scare you from doing that, but we want to make sure that we are putting consultants in that position that feel confident and can execute it at 110%.
Yep. And they're prepared. That was a big thing that was lacking. We had like an aha moment when one consultant shared that she wasn't even doing the fabulous game. We're like, So we want you guys to honor and respect the things that we do have in place. We are directors for a reason. I'm not trying to pull the card, but we are. We do operate on Tammy Romage's skincare class. We do use the closing sheet that we use for a reason. Together with 3 of us directors, this is the script that you should have gotten in your new consultant welcome email or from your director. Non-negotiable. If you already know it, please bring it. It inspires another consultant to see that, she's using that too. Part of being a team is having team tools that work for the family unit. It's a national sales director script. We know it works. And doing the fabulous game, you might love another way, but at the Monday night meetings, that's what we do. And you're teaching the heritage right from the beginning. We use the closing sheet that we use. We share pink the way we share pink for a reason. So it's really important to be prepared. And if you're not prepared, you need to have that conversation with your director. Because if we're asking you to be a part of a leadership position at the meeting, it's because we see you there. But one thing I can tell you that we're going to be looking for in leaders is those who submit their weekly accomplishment sheet. Because a financially responsible business owner is accounting for sales that they are having on a weekly basis. And that may be a toe stepping on conversation, but guys, I mean, would we ever just keep swiping our debit cards without knowing how much money's in the bank? The answer is no.
Well, how much money do you know? Like if you're not doing that, are you truly managing your Mary Kay money correctly? Are you truly saying with confidence, I made $150 last week? No. Like, you need to do that so that you are, it just isn't, you're running it like a business, you know? If you're not doing that, then you aren't really operating truly as being self-employed. If you're self-employed, you need to like put those things in place. You need to have a process. You need to have a system for it, because it helps you work more confidently and it helps you just know where you're at. You know, it's like your report card. You know where you're at with your goals, with your, if you're making enough money to pay your rent or whatever. So.
And a last thought for those of you that may be let's say you're in a red jacket position, you're like, why haven't I been asked yet? Honestly, we're going to look for people. We don't look necessarily so much for what you're saying, but what you're doing. And we want you to know that we fully believe that if a consultant is truly working an appointment full circle, every single time, she is going to be having 600 wholesale months. She is going to be adding at least 2 new team members a month. She's going to be a star. So that comes back to self-evaluation. If you want to be in that leadership position and inspire, I mean, how inspired would you be for your guests to see you teaching on a Monday night? I was so excited when I got to say, I want you as my guest because I am teaching. So that's where self-evaluation comes in. And I have to be honest, if you're bored, then you need to ask yourself why you're not teaching. Because, right, when I asked her, she took it very, very serious that she was asked to speak into the lives of other beauty consultants.
Like, guys, I did this. Like, I videotaped myself.
She did, and I ran through the video.
And I, ran through my skincare class just so I could see myself, see where I was fumbling. Because, guys, I knew you were watching me. I knew consultants were watching me. And I knew that other people's guests, not just my guests, other people's guests were going to be in front of me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make sure I'm doing this the right way. So just make sure you're taking it seriously,
Again, we want those guests to see what a true blue Mary Kay Monday Night Live looks like. So, and this is the last part, which is really important. What do we want each week for you?
So we want you guys to be inspired by a new thought, because you may hear something that you never heard before. You may just that positive way of thinking, you know, hearing those positive words. So we want you and your guests to walk away feeling inspired. And we want you to walk away feeling recommitted to that goal that you set in the beginning of the month or maybe the beginning of the year. We want you to recommit. You know, I know every week for me as a sales director, I recommit because I'm in front of you guys. And so I hope that you are getting that, you're transferring that, you know. And our ultimate goal for you guys is to be having and celebrating $1,000 weeks.
Amen.
Okay, $1,000 weeks. What would it do for your family to bring home $500 a week?
Yeah.
You know, not compromising your family and your values, and working this like 10 to 20 hours a week. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. That people are working full time and not even making that kind of income. Yeah. So, I think that's it on my part.
Yeah. I mean, just so you guys know, when you hear $1,000 weeks, if you know, aren't at the point you're having $300 weeks yet, just so you know, in breaking that down, that is part-time work, 6 to 8 hours a week. That's 2 parties, seeing 5 people. If you're using the set sheet, you're selling royal bags, which is how we get that $100 per face average. So it is possible, but that's where you have to reevaluate and say, am I recommitting every single week? Am I making a decision? And am I really doing what it takes, you know? So our goal is for you to walk away as you have guests. The meetings where you learn how to execute the true blue Mary Kay skincare party. But so the goal is new customers. The goal is new connections because they're going to give you referrals. New products, new customers, and remember 65% recruit as a result of coming to a Mary Kay event because they leave inspired.
That's where I came from.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to work smart, Mary Kay Ash said, learn while you're earning. Start your Monday off right. I guarantee you, I double dog dare you, come to a meeting for 4 weeks in a row. Intentionally invite 10 people by Wednesday to have at least 2 there on Monday, and tell me that your business hasn't completely changed by that small effort, that concentrated focus. So really our goal is just for you to reevaluate what maybe you're doing, what you're not doing, but more importantly, understand that we put 110% effort in, and because we know you're women of excellence, you'll do the same. So we can't wait to see you be a part of the excellence on our continuing Monday Night Live events.
Awesome. See you Monday.
See ya.